Hello, good evening, and welcome to Thingamajigs Racing channel. And this evening, for your pleasure, we are looking at that Sunday evening shenanigans by the Ultimate Racing League. The one they have 6 leagues all racing in unison, from the League of Champions down to League 1, 2, 3, 4 and League 5. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what we have been covering all season long. League 5, it's where it is at, ladies and gents. This is the hot schnizzle. So, League 5, we are into the penultimate round, round 9, at the Nürburgring GP. None of this Nordschleife business. We're doing the proper Grand Prix track, ladies and gentlemen, the proper race track, not that cross-country rally course. Ooh, controversial. I've just heard some pro sim racers' hearts break. So I've got a championship table. That's what, we're going to have, I can't remember how many laps, 23 laps. It's an endurance race, ladies and gentlemen. One race and one race only. From start to finish, they must use all 3 racing compounds: racing soft, racing medium, and racing hard. And they must use those compounds for a minimum of 3 laps. Let's just look at the table so far then. We've had a sporadic season, it has to be said, with people coming and going. So the top 3 really are the only mainstays. Top 4, maybe Mini as well, but Mini has missed a couple of rounds. They only dropped 1 round, so when they've missed a couple of rounds, that's it. They're not going to score any more than what they have. So Double A Ron Geary is at the top of your table on 319 points. And I haven't heard anything, but I believe he's the champion. Surely he's the champion with that sort of pointage. He's nearly 100 points ahead of Toten, who has dropped around, and Geary hasn't, but you only score 40. Anyway, maybe I think Geary's won it. Well done, old chap. Toten in second on 226 points. Then Brian Moncani in third on 212 points. Brian Moncani is set to drop a round where Toten has already dropped his round. So Brian Moncani still a little way away from taking over the Toten. Mini in fourth. He's on 140 points, just ahead of Get Smurfed on 137 points. But Get Smurfed looks like he does have to drop a round, so Mini might be safe there from Get Smurfed. Stubby is in 6th. He's been tearing it up the table, ladies and gentlemen, up to 6th already, 128 points. And it's not always the top 3 that get promoted. Sometimes they make up numbers. It could be 5, it could be 6. Now, I've known 8 drivers go up to promotion, so Stubby obviously not hanging around. 6th already, 128 points, looking for that promotion straight into League 4. YT is in 7th on 115 points, ahead of Eric of Canada on 105 points. 10 points between those two. Hard fight there ahead, ladies and gentlemen. Sunes is in 9th on 103 points, with Mika in 10th on 102 points. Tight stuff. Then we have Freak in 11th. I believe that's Method on 88 points, with Pork Sports in 12th on 57 points. Then Hoppers in 13th on 54 points. Jedi Drift in 14th on 22 points. Panda in 15th on 10 points. And Sully 16th with 4 points, ladies and gentlemen. That is the table. And like I said, it may not be mathematically possible. I think it is. But Double A Ron is your champion of the League 5 Season 2 of the GRSC. That, I believe, is the truth. And I'll stand by it. Let's have a look at this grid then, ladies and gentlemen. It's a doozer, isn't it not? Double A Ron back on pole. He missed it last round, but he's not messing around this time around, and he has slapped it straight on the front of the grid. He is winning this championship in Staley. So then we have a Jedi Drift. introduced last round. He's back again for more punishment, ladies and gentlemen. I've heard a rumour he's a chatterbox in the chat, so I wonder if they've managed to simmer down the roaring American. Ka-chow. And then in third place, ladies and gentlemen, it is Stu BS, known as the Stubbs, ladies and gentlemen. And he, like I said, has been tearing through the pack with only a few rounds under his belt, already up to sixth place and gunning for a run, maybe next season in League 4. Who knows? I think we've got a newbie here, Matty Alden has joined us, ladies and gentlemen. 2 races to go and has qualified in 4th place. Do we have a speedy one? A speedy one has just arrived. So it's a nice livery, and I am here for it. So that's Matty in 4th place. 5th goes to Mini, ladies and gentlemen, in the Rizzler Mustang. Mini having an absolutely cracking season. Where's his mate? They usually qualify together. No Mika. Oh, Mika's right back there. Well, I don't want to give anything away, but yeah. So Mini absolutely spanking his teammate, who's on home soil as well. Mika, being the German that he is, it's a surprise. So Mini then 5th place for Mini, 6th for Brian Moncani. It's getting better. His last 2 qualifiers, he's been rather far back on the grid. Oh, look, because he's put fire on it. Because he's put some flames under them tea bags. He's now moving up the grid, ladies and gentlemen. That's all he needed. Just needed a bit of flourish on that bonnet to get him going. So Brian Moncani then, 6th fastest today. 7th to the grid is a rocket car, and this one, ladies and gentlemen, is the Method, or Freak, whichever you want to call him by. He answers to both. And Method, not messing around in the rocket. He is sitting in 7th spot at the moment in what has to be said, quite a tough grid, ladies and gentlemen. League 4, beware. You've got some rapid people on their way up. Then here we have Souness. I recognise that car in 8th spot. And Souness looking for a good round. Yeah, I think he had a good one in the end last round, but it was dogged. It was dogged with issues, I'm sure, along the way. But Souness then in 8th place, just ahead of the 7-Up Mustang of Pork Sports. Pork Sports represented, don't forget, Pork Sports speciality is those first couple of corners. Always you can put money on him to make up some positions on that first lap. So Pork Sports, one to watch at the moment, 9th on the grid. Then in 10th, ladies and gents, it's YT, and he's in that mega battle, isn't he, with Eric of Canada. So YT at the moment doing okay. The Buzzing Hornet behind him isn't even the one you want, Eric of Canada. It's not the one he's fighting. So good stuff for YT at the moment, and he'll be chasing the sports. In 11th, it's GS Myth, ladies and gentlemen. Get Smurfed on the grid, representing top Buzzing Hornets car at the moment, and he'll be wanting to get up in YT's business, really, help his teammate out, take some points away from the YT. In 12th, then, it's Mini, ladies and gentlemen. Mini, not Mini, is that Mini? Oh, that is Mika up there. I do apologise, Mika. I said that was Mini. It's my terrible handwriting. No, Mika, home soil has done well for Mika. He's in 5th. Forget all I said earlier. It's Mini down here. Oh, Mini, man. It's because I expected so much from you, dude. Thought you'd be up there in 5th. Be down here in 12th. What went wrong? Penalties, I bet. Penalties. I bloody got one. I got one in qualifying, and it pretty much did. I only had, 1 lap left. You got on your out lap. Then you did a banker lap that wasn't great, but it was okay. Then you pick up a penalty at the end of that lap that continues into the next lap, that you pay in that lap, and then you find you've only got 1 lap left. So I understand, Mini. I'm not angry. In 13th then, ladies and gentlemen, is Eric of Canada. And hey, someone's got to start at the back, and Eric of Canada has taken on that burden. So we should applaud him. That is your grid, ladies and gents. Before the race commences, let me remind you that you should pick up a healthy addiction to WGG, the energy drink for gamers. And then when you try and kick that addiction, you can get some Eldridge air conditioning in to cool your boots. Okay then, ticked the boxes. Let us get it on, as Marvin once said. As we're heading up towards the lights, then Double Aaron feeling that pinch of pressure from the Jedi Drift. The lights are green. Let's go racing, ladies and gentlemen. Double Aaron leads them away with Jedi tucking in for that toe. This first corner is going to get very interesting. Didn't even look at the tyres. We'll see them as we move along. Should have wrote them down, silly Billy. So Double Aaron starting on the soft, so did Jedi Drift and the Stubbs all starting on soft tyres. Matty also starting with the soft tyre. Mika again on the soft tyre with Brian Moncani. He started on the soft tyre. Souness has started on the hards. Method, he's on the mediums, ladies and gentlemen. Method's on the mediums, fighting hard with the sports of Pork, and Pork's out wide there, and Method then is up. No, it's still side by side from the Method and Mr. Sports as they break down into the corner. They're both on mediums. There's contact there. Pork Sports though, and it's all bunched up here. So Eric of Canada's on hard tyres. So's Mini. So Method's on the mediums. Whitey, I can't catch him up. He's on the mediums. Pork Sports has started also on the mediums. Souness then on the hard tyres with Brian Moncani on softs. Souness doing a fantastic job at the moment, staying with the Monk. Let's have a look. Anything up here doing? Double Aaron pulling away from Jedi Drift. Jedi Drift feeling hassle from the Stubbs. Matty in fourth place with Mika setting chase, and Brian Moncani in sixth. There's and Souness on the hard tyres, remember. Now we've got some hard battleage down here mid-pack with Pork Sports up ahead of the YT, and Get Smurfed in 10th place. Method slipping down to 11th with that contact with the Pork, and 12th for Mini and Eric of Canada still in their places, but their race is as such. They're on the hard tyre. They're not expected to move up. They're just staying with the pack, and that is working with those mediums and a soft runner. Get Smurfed goes for a lunge up and into the chicane, and Method gives him a little bump to get through, but he had to brake, my friend. He had to brake to make room for YT. Again, having another sniff at YT is Get Smurfed. He's on the soft tyres, and YT's on those medium tyres, so GS Smith, he'll be feeling rather swift at the moment. That Buzzing Hornets Mustang is going to be wanting to get a nip on pretty quick. He's going for a lunge. Is it too far back? He's on the brakes. He's got better grip. He's still not up alongside. He is now, ladies and gentlemen, and it's looking very methodical from the Smurf. But no, YT, he maintains the apex, and that's YT still in ninth as the GS Smith goes for another move on those soft tyres. Method, Mini are all bunched up behind these guys as Get Smurf gets to work, and now YT builds a gap, and now the Smurf is in trouble from Method. Method trying to make his way through the gap, and can Mini also get through as well? Mini's on those hard tyres though, and Smith is on the softs. Method up and on those mediums in 10th. YT chasing down the sports of Pork. Souness there. Can he stay with the Moncani? He cannot on those hard tyres. So Brian Moncani now starting to eke away. All of the top six are on the soft tyre. Oh, devastating for Mika. That home knowledge hasn't helped him. He's got himself a penalty. Matty Adler holding on to fourth at the moment with Stubbs just ahead. It's a tight battle between Matty and the Stubbs, it would seem. Jedi Drift is trying to chase down your leader, Double Aaron, but Double Aaron knows how to lead a race here in League 5. And I imagine he knows the Nürburgring like the back of his hand as he goes through the chicane. And the drift man is getting ever closer. The pressure is building, ladies and gentlemen. Lap 2 of 23, and Double Aaron and Jedi Drift are throwing down in front of our very own eyes. Jedi Drift closing in. He's getting a toe, and Double Aaron trying to move over as close to the wall to break the toe. There is no break in the toe when the Jedi Drift is using the force, and Double Aaron now making him go the long way around, and it has worked for the Aaron so far. And Jedi Drift can all do is but suck on Aaron's exhaust pipe. Stubbs though closes in with the battling ahead, and it's helping the Stubbs close that gap with Matty Adler setting chase. Brian Moncani in 5th. Mika slipping back with that penalty, handing Brian Moncani a position, and Mika will not like that on home soil. Souness is doing an absolutely stunning job on the racing hards, staying with the pack. Pork Sports in 8th place. He's got the Method. Oh, dang. Method and Pork Sports having a clash earlier in the race, and I think later Pork Sports took full blame for said move. So that's tantalising, these two closing in on each other. Pork Sports in 8th, Method in 9th. Get Smurf though on them soft tyres, back ahead of YT. Mini is keeping with the pack on those hard tyres, and it is lap 3. So if they so wish to, they can get rid of those hard tyres at the end of this lap. Double Aaron speedily making his way around. He has to, because Jedi Drift is absolutely sending a message to that championship leader at the moment, and he wants to walk away from Germany with the gold medal. Stubbsy, he's got things as well on his mind, and those things are all about the winning, and Matty wants to hit the ground on his debut in this season, in this league, running. Brian Moncani, he plays the game. Brian Moncani knows the game. Brian Moncani wrote the game, ladies and gentlemen, and he knows there's no winning it in the first quarter. There's no winning it in the first half. It's at the end you have to represent. So Brian Moncani just quietly, silently getting on with the business, and later in the race we'll see him in the podium positions, because we always do. Mika setting chase after his penalty. He wants that position back. Souness doing an unbelievable job on the racing hards, and he's gone into lap 4. He does not trust the tyre wear with the Mustang, and out wide there for the Souness, but he doesn't pick up a penalty. I think he kept the wheels just about in. Precision driving, ladies and gentlemen. Pork Sports at the moment on his own, and GS Smith is up. Where is the Method? Method slipping down. Method slipping down into 11th, and GS Smith up and into 9th with YT in 10th, and Method will be absolutely furious. All that work to do again as YT and the Smith get busy with each other. Izzy Wizzy, let's get busy. As Get Smurf then on the apex says, I own this track. This track is mine. There is no other track like this track, and this one is mine. You shall not have this track. And YT saying, yeah, all right, I'm having it. Method then in 11th at the moment. The Mustang sounds so beefy. Oh! GS Smith, ladies and gentlemen, has overcooked it. Coming into the... It's not even the hairpin, is it? Well, that's kind of a hairpin. Oh, I think he was avoiding the Sports. The Sports has had an issue as well. The Sports is... Oh, he's slowing down. It looks like the Sports is slowing down, and GS Smith was trying to get out of his way and ended up in the wall. Oh, poor Smith. Where's the Mini? Mini's pitted. Mini had the hard tyres on. He's pitted. He's put the mediums on, and so has Eric of Canada. So, oh, poor GS Smith. Pork Sports, some reason, slowing down. maybe to hand the position back. Maybe there was a conversation had. Who knows? But YT has moved up into 8th place with Method in 9th, and Pork now down and into 10th, being chased by GS Myth, who's lost a lot of time on those soft tyres through no fault of his own, ladies and gentlemen. He will be livid. Mini in 12th, trying to get the best race he can after having those hard tyres on for the first 3 laps, as is Eric of Canada. Double Aaron at the moment has built out a gap of the drift. Their tyres on the softs looking fabulous, darling. Fabulous. So Jedi Drift and the Stubbs now coming into play, ladies and gentlemen, and Jedi Drift turning his eye away from the Double Aaron and maybe casting it to the rear of him where Sauron it stands. Matty, he's always there, he's always a danger. Get on board, let's get on board with the newbie and welcome him to the club, ladies and gentlemen. Matty Alder. We've had some new ones lately. No Panda today, that's a shame. I liked his username. So Matty Alder then in 4th place, trying to chase down that podium battle up ahead of him. Brian Moncani chasing him down like the devil himself, and Mika is in 6th on home soil, the top German driver in the pack. And yes, Stubbs does look like he's getting closer to... Oh, Stubbs all over the shop, and it's bye-bye Stubbs. Oh, Stubbs bidding it in the most fabulous way. I apologise, Stubbs. I mean no disrespect, but it was beautiful, sir. You saw just 2 wheels out a little bit wide, and it's a few spins there for the STUBS. Oh, pain. The pain, ladies and gentlemen, is real. The Pro Sim racer's burden right there. Souness is chasing him down on those hard tyres. Souness still on the hard tyres, lap 5 of 23, but I don't think he's got anything to concern himself with. I think the softs, they've usually gone by now, haven't they? And they're still doing a great job. Lap 5, and it's a long lap, so it's not as many laps in this race than you would normally with a 1.5 minute track. This is over 2 minutes a lap, and yeah, the soft tyre is unbelievable. They could go 12 laps, I'd say. You're probably going to see less laps on the medium tyres, and the guys who are saving those softs for later won't know. Well, they'll know these guys are on soft, surely. But I'm in VR and I have well, I don't have all the HUD turned off, but I have names turned off and stuff like that, and you don't get much any information, so I never know what tyres people are on. Souness has finally come in. He's going to move on to a different set of tyres, and maybe Method has got wind that the soft tyre is quite extraordinary. He's only doing 5 laps on the medium tyres. GS Myth on those softs, still raring to go, and Mini closing in with his mediums. And Method, what's he coming out on? He's come out on the hards. He's going to do 3 laps of hards, and then we're going to see him on the soft tyre for the rest of the race. Spectacular and exciting, all in one thing. It's a spectating. Something like that anyway. Right, I'm just sorry, people, that there's a gap while there is racing. Is there anything racing going on? Well, Method's just had his out lap. He's trying to catch up with Mini. I'm just trying to check because I'm doing these videos as private, so I can just release them at the end of it. And I don't know if it's working or not. I have to keep checking. 24 minutes ago, yeah, that seems fine. I've got now to worry about. All is good. All is good, ladies and gents. All is good. So let's get our concentration back to the race. 6 laps in. And Double Aaron is leading the way with the Jedi Drift going into the pits. He's had enough of the softs. That's interesting. Matty staying out. We lost Stubbsy, remember, to a nasty spin. He's ended up behind Mika, and it's only Jedi who thinks the softs have done their business. Everyone else on the softs are laughing. They're probably thinking, I cannot believe we're going to just do 3 laps on mediums and 3 laps on hard tyres at this rate. Mika in 4th, the Stubbs in 5th now. Jedi Drift pulling in and putting a worse set of tyres on. What was he doing? He was doing 207s and a 208. Maybe that's where he thought the tyres had gone. Here comes Pork Sports then, his fastest lap of the race. And he is now ahead of Souness, because Souness stopped and put the medium tyre on. GS Smith, it looks like he's fighting with Mini there. And I think that's Smith still continuing from where he started. He hasn't pitted. I mean, Mini has pitted, and he's right up his rear derriere. Method has pitted. He's closing in on those guys. He's put the hard tyre on, and Eric of Canada pitted and put mediums on. Double Aaron at the moment, well, using his softs. Or maybe they won't go as late as in the race as I thought. Maybe lap 12 was a bit ridiculous, because he's getting halfway through them now at lap 7. Matty, look at him, Monsieur. Matty with the tender touch. Ooh, ooh. Try a little tenderness, Matty. Look at you with your tyres. So Matty is ballerinaing that Mustang, but it doesn't sound like he's skidding. How the hell's he looking after those tyres? He must be pumping water into those tyres, you know. He must be like syringing water right into the treads to keep them cool. Brian Moncani in third place now after the pit stops, and Mika closing in. 207.7 from the Bry, with Mika getting a 207.5. It's little bits, but all the little bits help to get closer to your goal. I learnt that at Weight Watchers. Stubbs in 5th with YT a little further back. YT in his own little race with Pork Sports and GS Smith and Souness maybe, but no, I think Souness is a threat. I think Souness is a threat today, ladies and gents. He stayed with the lead pack on those hard tyres, not losing a lot of time. Now he's come into the pits, he's put his medium tyres on, and there is no one in his way. It's smooth driving. The only person who can ruin it for him is himself. But I have full faith in the man as he brings it around and heads towards the line. Souness cutting the time with a 208.1, ladies and gentlemen. Chasing down Pork Sports at the moment. Jedi Drift getting past Pork Sports. I think he was behind him after the pit stops, and now Jedi Drift up and into 7th, chasing down YT, who also has not pitted yet. I still think Jedi may have pitted a little early on those soft tyres, but you know, time will be the one that tells. Mika in 4th place, chasing down Brian Moncani, with Matty Alder is second at the moment, chasing down Double Aaron, but Double Aaron, as per usual, has a humongous lead on 2nd place, but that is because Jedi pitted. Jedi did stay with him, remember. It's Mika. I've got a feeling he is going to try and make a move on Moncani at the moment. Brian Moncani slinging Mustang like he owns it, and Mika is hunting him down with a German meticulousism. Stubbs, my word, Stubbsy, he was there, wasn't he? He was there, he was in the fight, but things went awry for the man. And now he's looking at the latter end of the podium, if he can even get past Mika and Brian, who are both very swift, and Matty as well. Looks like he is going to be an obstacle in this race. I don't think anyone is touching Double Aaron today. He is consolidating that championship, ladies and gentlemen. I think he might be missing the last round. So maybe this is the drive. This could be the goodbye to our hero of the season, ladies and gentlemen. The Double Aaron. It started so funny. If you remember, on the first corner of the first round, he ended up in the invisible wall at Daytona, and had to struggle on from the rear derriere of the pack, and since then it's all been on the up. Him and Toten have had some absolute major battles this season. Look back. If you've not watched anything from this season, you'll see a couple of real good dogfights between Double Aaron and Toten, teammates as well. Matty Adler joining right at the end of the season, and hopefully he'll be continuing into new season, which I'm not sure who'll be doing the comms for it. I think it's Paul. I'm pretty sure Paul does League of Champions, but he might do League One. Oh, I'm really bad at keeping track of it all. But yeah, a new commentator for League 5 next season, as I move on up to League 4 and introduce myself to those crazy mofos. Brian Moncani in third with the Mika still hunting him down. The tyres, Brian's got better tyres than Mika, and Mika will be starting to think about what his pit stop situation is. Stubbs closing in, but his tyres are starting to get a little chewed up as well. They'll be feeling that. They'll be feeling the understeer more so than the Mustang's usual understeer. YT still on his original tyres, I'm sure of it, and they are doing fantastic. Look at that. Barely scratched the surface. Mika has decided it is time, and so has Stubbs. The Moncani has stayed out with Matty Adler, who, well, he's looking after his tyres quite nicely, and Double Aaron is getting fair use out of his ones. YT then comes around that final corner, and is he going to be a fly in the ointment for Mika and Stubbs? Who knows what they're going to put on? Are they going to save the hard tyre for the very end? Really, you want a fighting chance at the end, and it's better to get the hard tyre out of the way early doors, is how I see it. Mika then is onto the softs. He's saving the hards till the end. Jedi Drift, who made that pit stop very early, went onto the hard tyre, still is on the hard tyre, and he's probably done about 4 laps on him. He has got ahead of the Stubbs, and he's not quite with Mika, but he's giving it a good go while Mika's on cold tyres, and he's getting very elbowsy here, but Mika is not one to be diced. There was definite contact there, door to door banging, ladies and gents, but Mika in the end on those medium tyres inserts his dominance, and Jedi Drift will have to know his place. Padawan. Mika just made you look like a Padawan. And again, a bit more contact, just a little bit of bumpy, grindy, just to let you know. I don't know about that one though, but Mika is holding on, and Jedi alongside Mika. He's probably saying you don't have to make so handsy, and now it looks like Jedi's going to have that inside line. Mika tries to late brake, but Jedi is later on the brakes, side by side going around the corner, and oh my word, and it's Stubbs coming into the action, and Mika is just about ahead of Jedi Drift. What an absolute banger, ladies and gentlemen. Oh no! No! Jedi Drift, let's hope that was a caught Mika on the corner of his car as they come into the chicane, and I do hope that was an absolute tragedy, a mistake. Double Aaron coming into the pits, Matty Adler coming into the pits, and Brian Moncani all choosing this moment to come into the pits, with YT in 4th and Jedi Drift holding on to that 5th place, as Pork Sports and Souness go side by side, and temperatures are running high out there at the Nürburgring. I don't know what they've been putting in the Frankfurters, but these guys are driving on pure emotions at the moment. And who's that? Jedi Drift then is stayed out. Brian Moncani, Matty Adler. I thought someone else went into the pits. No, they did not. YT then moves up into 2nd. Matty Adler. Yeah, Matty Adler was in the pits. I apologise. Oh yeah, they all went in, didn't they? Double Aaron's gone onto the hard tyre then, ladies and gents. YT is still on the original mediums, lap 11 of 23. Matty Adler has moved on to the medium tyre. He's saving the hard tyre till the very end, with Brian Moncani going on to the hard tyre. Stubbs on the medium tyre. He's saving the hard tyre to the end of the race. Pork Sports still on his original medium tyres, and he's becoming an issue for Souness, who sees the race ahead of him. That's the race he needs to be in. but Pork Sports there in his way, and I don't think he's racing Pork Sports. He's already used his hard tyre. He's onto his medium tyre now. He needs to be in that pack for the final round of pit stops. He's going for a move around the outside of the Sports, and it pays, ladies and gentlemen. The Souness, but he's got a big slide on, and it's a controlled drift, ladies and gentlemen. Amazing stuff from Souness, but Pork Sports gets a better drive out the corner and comes up close to the rear derriere of Souness. He has a whiff up the inside, but Souness under control. Is he controlled? Because Pork Sports right there, and they're both off. Oh no! Souness losing out on an opportunity, and Pork Sports pulls over to one side, but Souness doesn't look like he's in the mood anymore. He's just driven over. He's just parked it, and Pork Sports is waiting for him. Mika in 6th, Stubbs in 5th, Moncani in 4th, Matty Adler in 3rd, YT up to 2nd but has not pitted yet, and Double Aaron in the lead. Right then, oh my lord, can we keep up? It's down to 13. Someone's left. We'll see on our way back. I think it'll be Souness. That looked like he was gearing up to leave. Unfortunate for Souness. He was looking a good race up to that point. Get Smurf then is in 12th place behind Method. Method in 11th. He's on a set of softs now. I've lost track of what he was doing. Was he on mediums? And now he went on softs quite early, did he not? Then we've got Pork Sports on his original medium tyres in 10th. Eric of Canada's got ahead of him, whilst Pork Sports fell over, had a little moment with Souness and slowed down for Souness, but Souness quit out the room, and Eric of Canada then moves up to 9th. Jedi Drift has moved down to 8th, so does that mean he's redressed with... Who was it he was racing? It was Mika. Yeah, he must have redressed. No, he's gone into the pits. He's gone into the pits, so the stewards will be having a very close look at that move. He pulled on Mika there, and Mika's chances going out the window. Stubbs just ahead of him, but Mika some distance behind after his altercation with the Jedi Drift. Stubbs then chasing down Brian Moncani, who's on the hard tyre. Stubbs is on the mediums. This should be short play for the STU BDS. Brian Moncani in 4th, Matty Alder is in 3rd. Adler, I think he was the drummer for Guns N' Roses before they got him really washed out on heroin and sacked him. YT at the moment doing an absolutely fantastic job, ladies and gents. Still on his original tyre from the beginning of the race. He's got to do a minimum of 3 laps on the 2 compounds he's got left, and he's got 11 laps to do it in. Alder, though, is having a sniff. He's having a look, ladies and gentlemen. Fresher medium tyres closing into the YT. And Matty Alder then looking very racy behind a YT, and the Mustang is it's Mustangs. They're both Mustangs. YT trying to break the toe there of Matty Alder, and there's nothing doing down that straight into the braking zone. Matty able to brake a little later with those fresher tyres, and YT looked like he had a bit of a slide on coming out of the corner. And Matty is all up and around his business, giving him a rash nearly. YT though holding on strong. Good defensive driver from Matty on a set from YT on a set of dying medium tyres. And Double Aaron, this has worked out nicely for him on the hard tyres. Just miles above everyone else. Brian Moncani in 4th. Can he close in on this? He is also on those hard tyres though, so he'd like to see these two falling over each other ahead. That is good for him. These guys are going to be going on to the hard tyres for the final 3 laps. Well, YT's got to put the softs on before that even. And it looks like, YT, I don't know if he was defending or he was giving the spot to Matty Alder. Maybe he felt he was out of position. It wasn't really his fight, and why should he lose time? So YT doing the sensible thing for his race, as he's got to worry about bigger things behind him. And Brian Moncani, though, that was a big help for Brian Moncani. Matty Elder being stuck behind YT for a couple of laps, or a lap at least. And can Brian Moncani get by YT as easily? YT's got to be thinking about a pit stop. He's only got 10 laps left and 2 sets of tyres to use. He's giving me a bit of anxiety. Double A Ron, no anxiety here. He's used his hard tyre for the 3 laps that they needed. And now he's going to go and put the mediums on for the final 10 laps. Great race. And there we go. YT now making the decision, or he's going to use one of his compounds. And Brian Moncani has ticked the box on the hards. He'll be going on to the mediums for the rest of the race. That puts our new boy, his debutant, Matty Alder, leading the race. No, yes. And Stubbs is through as well. Stubbs going for that medium tyre before the hards, as did Matty Alder. They won't be stopping until lap 20, I guarantee it. And Double Aaron now out onto a set of mediums. Armed and dangerous, ladies. Armed and dangerous, you would call that. Mika in 4th. He's turning this one around, but he's on the mediums. He's yet to use the hard tyre. Mini. Remember Mini from years ago? Has he not pitted yet? Is that why he's up to... I think he has. I think he's got the soft set to use still. But I think he's used the hards, and he's through his minis. He's through his mediums at the moment. So Mini having an absolutely super race. He's still got the soft tyre to use, ladies and gentlemen. Let us not count out the Mini. YT in 6th spot. Just having that pit stop now. He's on to his second set of tyres, his second compound, soft tyres. So he has still got to use the hard tyre on lap 20. We'll see him coming in to put a hard set of tyres on, as we will with Matty Alder and Stu BS. Double A Ron running to the end. Mika, I believe, running to the end. Mini. Is Mika? Yeah, Mika's running to the end. Mini has yet to use a soft set of tyres. YT behind him has to use a hard set of tyres. He's closing in on Mini, though. He's on those faster tyres. Brian Moncani, he's used all the compounds now. He's running to the end. A couple of guys in front of him, 2 pits. I think he's going to be in a good podium position. Like I said, he possibly would be. Jedi Drift in 8th spot. He's had a tail. I think he stopped a little too early on those soft tyres. Could have continued a little longer. Ooh, and now he's picked up a hefty old penalty, but he's got a chasm of space behind him from Eric of Canada. Eric of Canada is he's got a long way to go, ladies and gents, if he wants to catch up Jedi Drift. Method in 10th and Get Smurfed in 11th. Poor Get Smurfed. Not the race he was looking for. Is that him running to the end now? It could possibly be. He started on the softs and that just didn't work out for him. He got caught up in a lot of racing and ended up having a big off down here when he found a 7-up car in his way. And his race just hasn't been the same since, but he's doing the best he can in 11th spot. Method hasn't had the best of races also, not through all his own fault, and he's just trying to get what he can out of this one, maybe hoping some pit stops ahead of him. Eric of Canada, I'm not sure if he's used the soft tyre yet or not. Jedi Drift with that 1 second penalty, I think he's used all the tyres. Brian Moncani now is on his final set. So it's these two, I think, really what we're looking at as lap 20. They'll both be in for the hard set of tyres. And the question is, I think Double Aaron will be easily ahead of them. It's where Mika and Mini stand. Mini's still got to make his pit stop, remember, though. Mini's still he's got to come in on lap 20 as well for a hard set of tyres. YT also. These two are fighting for position, and they will both be pitting for hard tyres at the end of the race. This is a banging, ladies and gents. The Pilot Mustang against the Rizzler Mustang, and Mini at the moment on the medium tyre, keeping YT at bay. Ooh, YT kicking up a bit of the kitty litter. And behind Brian Moncani running to the end, so these two should get out of his way when they pit. And he's away off of Mika and Double Aaron. I tell you what, Mika has really turned this one around, hasn't he? He was down in 6th after the first lap, picking up that penalty. And now he's looking like he's going to finish 2nd in my book. Even if Matty Alder and Stubbs get out ahead of Mika, they're going to be on the hard tyre. And Mika's he's done the hard tyre now. He's not losing time to him on track at the moment. And I think his hard tyre run wasn't too bad. Well, it was right at the very beginning, wasn't it? He was one of them that started on the hard. Oh no, he may not. He started on the soft. YT and Mini still duking it out. YT does get through. YT does get through, and that is devastating for Mini, because it's not like they're going to gain anything back from pit stops, because they're both going to have to pit on lap 20. But YT on those softer compound tyres, they'll be up to temperature now. He is just going to run away from Mini now, and Mini is going to be looking in his rear view mirrors at the Monk coming through. Jedi Drift, not the race he was hoping. He started off so well in qualifying and chasing down the Double Aaron. He changed his softs quite early. He may have had another pit stop. He's still on mediums, unless he hasn't used the hards yet. If they're still the same... No, because he pitted on lap... Yeah, it could have been lap 7 that he's pitted from the softs to the mediums. So he's still yet to use the hard tyre. 3 laps at the end of this race. So not the race that Jedi was looking for here. Although he might jump up a couple of positions when Mini and YT pit. I don't think he's going to... Maybe he'll be around Stubbs. You better go nowhere near Mika. He must have pitted because he was ahead of Mika, unless he's had an off. Yeah, he pitted on lap 10 and 11. Oh, he was on the hard. So, yeah, he's running to the end. Ladies and gents, he's running to the end. Sorry, I apologise. He put the hards on after the softs, didn't he? And, yeah, on lap 10 and 11, it looks like he pitted. So, did his 3 laps on hards, and now he's gone on to the medium tyre till the end. So, he's chasing down Brian Moncani. Mini now does pit. Is he going to go to the hard tyre for the last 7 laps? Wow, this tyre's not even that worn out, Mini. So Brian Moncani then goes through. YT, he's going to leave it until lap 20, unless Mini hasn't used a tyre. Yeah, no. He started on the hards. He's got the softs. Yeah, he's still got the softs. There's hope, yeah. Yeah, because he hadn't used any of the compounds, had he? So he's got the softs. He can still catch these guys up, hopefully. Hopefully, Mini on the soft. Sorry, I read that totally wrong. I forgot. He started on the hard compound. So, no, he's... Did he just have hards on or mediums? Who was running? It was Mini, wasn't it? He had hards on at the very beginning. Then, yeah, he's just had those mediums on. Sorry. So now he's onto the softs. I'm confusing myself, ladies and gents. How bad's that? Jedi Drift then in 7th place, chasing down Brian Moncani. Brian Moncani on the medium tyres, a 207.8 from him. Jedi Drift a 208.9. He's not going to catch the Monk like that. YT trying to make a dash for it before he has to come in on lap 20 for a set of hard tyres. And then Mini is going to be doing the last lap. Mini hopes. Method on his own in 9th. Eric of Canada is on his own in 10th, and Get Smurfed is on his own in 11th. Matty Elder at the moment leads the race handsomely with no issues on the medium tyre, but he has to pit on lap 20 for the hard tyre. Double Aaron has got past STUBS. How and why? Stubbs then. What? It's not anything particularly slow, just his lap times, 208s. And a 206 and a 207 on the medium tyre from Double Aaron. He's not messing about. Watch out, League 4. Double Aaron is on his way. So Matty Alder then, he's in 209s as well, with Double Aaron absolutely slinging Mustang on the medium tyre, doing 207s. And remember, Stu BS and Matty have all got to go onto the hard tyre on lap 20. Mika is going to clean up, I'm telling you. Clean up on aisle 12, Mika. YT then in 5th. He's still got a pit as well and use those hard tyres. So Brian Moncani slowly chipping away at that gap between himself and YT. He doesn't want to be held up by the YT either. He wants to crack on. And he wants to try and get at Mika, but Mika has built himself up a lovely bit of a gap of a lead there. Jedi Drift as well in 7th. He should move up to 6th when YT pits. And Mini there is waiting for a YT to pit so he can claim that spot. Is he closing? He's only done out laps, you see, so it's hard to see. But he's a corner and a bit away from Jedi Drift. Jedi Drift doing quite good lap times on medium tyres, 208s. Not your double Aarons. Did he get the fastest lap on a set of mediums? 206.3, no. But he got a 206.9 on a set of mediums, so let's recognise, ladies and gentlemen. Stubbs there in 3rd place. He'll be pitting on in 2 laps time. Mika, he'll be looking for that pit stop. Don't know if he can get Matty though. Matty might be a little too far for Mika in the pit stops. We'll have to see, but Matty will be on a slower tyre when it comes to it. So even if Mika is behind Matty, I think he's going to be behind Matty, but ahead of Stubbs. And Mika, he might have to fight on home soil. 2nd place is some feat, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to taboo it or voodoo it or whatever, curse it. But Mika, I am saying, is sitting in a very strong 2nd place when all the pit stops come out. 3rd, but with an opportunity to move to 2nd. That's what I'm saying. That's my call. YT then in 5th, being caught by the Monk. And the Monk wants to be in that battle as well. He wants to be in there with Aaron, with Stubbs and Matty and Mika. Brian Moncani, podium specialist this season. Jedi Drift in 7th place. I think he's just going to miss out on all the fun. I think they're all going to come out ahead of him, but we'll see. Mini there waiting for YT on lap 20. And Method going across the line in 9th place on a set of soft tyres. I'm not sure if he's got to put hards on. I've lost track of his tyres, ladies and gents, if I'm honest. Eric of Canada in 10th. He started on the hards, I think he went to mediums, ending the race on the softs ahead of his teammate. And he was out qualified by Get Smurfed this one, but we did see Get Smurfed has had a few external issues during this race. So we're coming up to lap 20. One more lap left then for Matty on those medium tyres before he has to by the rule go to the hard tyre. And double Aaron is catching him up. Look, another 067 on a set of medium tyres. Double Aaron is going out with an explosion, ladies and gentlemen. We salute you, Double Aaron, and we will miss you until we do it next season. So I'm assuming he's going to get promoted and I'm going with him. Sod you, League 5, I'm off to League 4. So yeah, double Aaron absolutely slinging Mustang there and closing in on Matty. That has got to be soul destroying for Matty. The man he's trying to get out ahead is closing in on the same tyre. He must think he's on softs. He must think, oh, hopefully he's going to lap pit at the end of this one as well and put hard tyres on. Stubbs then. End of this lap, he's going to have to come in and put a hard set of tyres on, and then we will see a happy dance from a German out there, and it's not often you see a German happy. So Mika in for I'm only jesting. It's the stereotype, isn't it, that they don't have a sense of humour. YT in 5th place. Ooh, you'll get a penalty out there, sir, if you're not careful. But he has got a sling Mustang, hasn't he, because he's got to worry about his pit stop at the end of this lap. And has Mini done enough to get ahead of him? And I think he has. 207s on the regular. Come on, Mini. Let's have it. Mini is absolutely flying, ladies and gentlemen. Method on the 209s now. His tyres are old. They're tired. They've had enough. Eric of Canada, can he catch him? A 209 from Eric of Canada, but he is a little too far back from the Method. But if Method has a spin or a freaky moment, then you never know. Eric of Canada will be there, and the Battle of America and Canada will be settled on track. GS Smith, it's been an unfortunate race for the Smith. So then, coming up to the end of the lap, ladies, is that Smith there? Oh, bless him. So Matty will have to come into the pits after the chicane. Double Aaron will take back the lead of this race that he's had for the majority of it. And there we go, Matty turning to the right and cutting into the pits to put a set of hard tyres on. Double Aaron retakes the lead with 3 laps to go. And this one is for the championship, baby, as Double Aaron moves on ahead in the lead. Stubbs then pulls into the pits. No, Mika, don't tell me I got it all wrong. Have you not used a hard tyre? Oh, dang. I thought he put the hard tyre on when Brian Moncani did. Oh, dang, I got it all wrong. Mika isn't going to get second place. He's had to pit as well for the hard tyre. Brian Moncani, the podium specialist, I wondered how he's going to do it. Now, Matty has come out ahead of the Monk, but he's on a set of hard tyres, ladies and gentlemen. He's got a hard road to walk. And Brian Moncani on a lovely set of up to temperature racing mediums is, oh, I got that so wrong about Mika. Unbelievable. He must have been watching this thinking, nope, you're wrong. Nope, you're wrong. I wasn't on hards. I thought you put hards on when Brian the Monk put them on. My gosh. Stubbs then. Oh, I'm gutted for you. So Mini, look at Mini's race turned around. Unbelievable. Up to 6th place, ladies and gentlemen. He's jumped Mika and YT. That's not what Mika needed. I wondered how Mika was doing so well after his big collision with Jedi Drift. But then, yeah, Mika down to 7th. Not the race he was looking for. He's got that hard tyre. It's going to be a hard fight. YT also on the hard tyre. Won't be able to do anything about Mika, I'm sure. They're just going to hold station. Mini on the soft tyre is going to dance away from him. And I don't know if he's going to close into... If he can keep these 207s, maybe he can catch up with the drift. Stubbs then on those hard tyres. He's got to try and stay ahead of the drift. The drift closing in. This could be rather exciting, ladies and gentlemen, although Mini is quite a way back from that battle. It's going to be tough for him to close in as Jedi absolutely slings Mustang there, and Stu BS on the hard tyre trying to find a bit of grip. Brian Moncani is upon Matty. The welcoming team has finally arrived for Matty to welcome him into the URL, and of all people, the face of URL, it turns out, is Brian Moncani. What have you done, Unforgiven? So Brian Moncani, 3rd, not enough, it seems. And he's closing in on the newbie. Looking one way, looking another. He's going for the inside, ladies and gentlemen, and Matty doesn't look like he's going to defend it too much. No, just a little tap as he goes by to say hello. And that is it. Brian Moncani doesn't need more than that, ladies and gentlemen. He is off and into 2nd place in this race. Matty could grab podium here. Stubbs, though, pushing hard. You can hear the wheels squealing as he tries to get away from the drift. 6th for Mini. He did a 2:08.1 last time around. He is closing in on those guys ahead. He's still got 2 laps. There is still all to play for here. Mini pushing like he's never pushed before. Mika slipping back, but he's got to stay ahead of YT. You see they've got no grip on the hard tyre here, and Mika struggling in his Mustang to keep it facing the right way. YT doing the same in 8th, and Method not that far away, but his tyres are very old. Can he catch up YT before the end of the race? Eric of Canada are on the freshest set of softs, but he's lost a huge amount of time that last lap, probably pushing. And GS Smith is lovely consistent times on the medium tyres, I've got to say. I'm impressed. So Double Aaron leads the way as he comes up to the line to start his final lap, ladies and gentlemen, with League 5. I'm pretty sure he said he is away for the final round. So this is a big thank you to the Double A Ron. Let me butcher your name, being on board with it all, being part of the joke, and having an absolutely entertaining season for me, giving me loads to talk about. So I appreciate you, Aaron Geary. Thank you very much. Superstar. Brian Moncani as well has given us much to talk about. His turnarounds in the race have been unbelievable. We had the controversy mid-season whether or not the rookie sticker on the back of his car was a joke or for reals. And Matty Adler, what a debut. We barely got to know you, and we've only got one more race left after this. Hopefully we'll see you there. Stubbs under threat from the drift. The drift did catch him up, ladies and gentlemen. Jedi drift and the Stubbs going side by side, and the drift made it happen. If you believe hard enough, if you dream big enough, if you drive fast enough, it can happen. But the Stubbs goes in underneath him on the apex, and it's a bitter battle all the way to the flag here for fourth place. Stubbs out wide. He doesn't get a penalty. I got a blooming penalty going out there. I didn't go out there again for the rest of the race. But Stubbs then in fourth, the Jedi drift in fifth. Mini, can he close in on this battling? Not quite. He'd need something special to happen to them. And Stubbs at the moment doing all he can to stay ahead of the drift. The Jedi drift on the faster tyres as they come down the straight. He's looking to make the move into the hairpin, and Stubbs having to brake as late as he possibly can. And Double Aaron is moving up to the chicane. He's going to be finishing this race very soon as we're watching these two battle it out. He's gone through the chicane. He's just about to go through the final corner, and we're going to have to cut away and look at the leader. We're contractually obliged, ladies and gentlemen. We can always rewind if anything happens here. So Double Aaron around that final corner, ladies and gentlemen, to take the checkered flag. He's the champion we were all rooting for. Well done, Double Aaron. Don't lose the win now. Come on, where's the bride? The bride's not there yet. He's having a play. He wants to do some donuts. He wants to enjoy his championship and his race win. And there you go, Aaron over the line. Brian Moncani coming home. There's still movement. There's still movement. We'll go back and look at it as Brian Moncani finishes in second place ahead of Matty Adler. Then we've got this battle. Let's go back 20 seconds before anyone crossed the line. Jedi up upon the Stubbs. And the Stubbs then trying to fend him off in the chicane. Jedi's got the inside line, just moved slightly ahead of the Stubbs as they come up to the final corner, and it looks like the Jedi has won, ladies and gentlemen. The Jedi up ahead, and what a cracking little race we had there on the final half of the lap as Jedi Drift takes fourth away from the Stubbs in fifth. Mini gets a great sixth, with Mika, his teammate, not happy on home soil, coming home in seventh. Thought he had a podium in him. YT in eighth, does stay ahead of the Method in the end, just has to cling on for one more corner, and YT bringing it home in eighth place. Ladies and gentlemen, what a drive from the YT. And Method in ninth. Eric of Canada, the buzzing Hornets just wasn't, they must have had the wrong programming in the engine, as Eric of Canada then brings it on home for 10th ahead of his teammate, gets smurfed. I don't even know where we are next week. I'm so sorry. So Eric of Canada comes across the line in 10th. Great drive from the Canadian. Better than Stroll, ladies and gentlemen. Better than Stroll. Do you imagine being Canadian and that has to be your person you look up to in Formula One, is Lance Stroll? Could you imagine that? If it's not bad I was going to say, if it's not bad enough being neighbours with the Americans, but I love the Americans. So GS Smith then gets Smurf, brings it on home for 11th spot. What a drive. He's been battered. He's been battered a bit in this one, like a domestic abuse or something, but he continued on, ladies and gentlemen, and got to the end. So Double Aaron, another win. and a championship, I believe, to call his own. And I think a little hollybobs for next week. And we'll see him again in League 4, I am sure of it. As we will with Brian Moncani, although we'll probably see him next week. You can't get rid of him. No, I'm joking. Brian Moncani, looking for a win next week, I suppose, without Double A Ron here. But he's got a tough job with Matty Elder, Jedi Drift, and the Stubbs in the house. Even Mika, I think, and Mini after today's showing. Matty Elder, great debut, great race. Good stuff from Matty there for third. Podium on his first race, can't complain. Jedi Drift bringing it home in fourth. And I thought it was too early on those softs for a pit stop, but he turned it around, and he's got himself there in the top 4. So who am I to say? And ahead of Stubbs. I imagine Mika might have something to say about Jedi, if I remember rightly. Them two had a bit of an altercation, didn't they? So Stubbs in 5th, Mini in 6th. I don't know. I didn't see it. I'm not saying someone was in the wrong. I would never say someone was in the wrong. I can't. I'm just doing a commentary and I'm just doing a replay, and I don't have the faucets. I don't have the facets to make those decisions. That's a whole team of stewarding that has to deal with that, and thankfully I'm not part of it. So I don't lay blame. I just say there was an incident between Mika and Jedi Drift in the chicane. 6th place for Mini then. Mini, what a race. What a race for Mini. I'm loving Mini at the moment. I'm a big fan. Is he doing T-shirts? I want a Mini T-shirt. Mini Rizzler T-shirt. Mika as well. Oh, I feel bad for him, really. His race should have been better. In 7th. YT in 8th. I think he had a great race. He should come out of this quite buoyant. Good fun. Good racing. Some door-to-door stuff. And he stayed ahead of Method, who's rather swift himself. In Method in 9th, Eric of Canada in 10th, and GS Smith in 11th. So that was the penultimate round, ladies and gentlemen. Only one more round to go. I'm not even going to tell you where it is. I'm not going to tell you. It's not because I don't know. It's because I like the surprise. I like the surprise of all these things. I want to surprise you. So the next time we see these boys battling on track, it will be for the last time. Tiru, peace and love. Peace and love.